It's the same composition, I think, from both teams, just running it back once more where they found their success.
Now it's a lot of mid presence, but a double stack over in Market, so paranoia from Monyet. The recon gets nothing from Heretics, no pings, but this spike, this is a really big risk from Cushy. The spike is down. Heretics are gonna surround RRQ, they're on an island with no raft to get out.
Trap has been sprung, mid has been taken, one alive, and one will be down. Xfair, nothing to do in this round. Triple for Woot. And big shouts from the Heretics squad. First smoke being set up here, coming through from Monyet. Also one rotation over, it's going to be respected by Miniboot. Marshall in hand. Just two members, Cushy and Monyet, with the light armors, with the one shot. Here it is, Boo barely getting out of that one. Prowler just about caught him.
His eyes are just about to close real quick. The Prowler is about to bite him in the butt, and he just has to stay put. The paranoia is gonna get him. Boo is stuck, but he's got the backup of Mini-Boo also with the sniper.
Good
Brothers
paranoia.
and arms and RRQ to elbow, dislodge one of the Boos, and three around the corner. Reinforcements from Heretics, and Mini-Boo and friends work so well together on the left side. But now won't get eyes within the site, but RRQ not really safe to go for the plant. They are just trying to bait Heretics.
See what Miniboot can do around the elbow side as well. Big swing coming, but high-low setup is at least a 1-for-1 trade, 2-2 now. Still waiting for the activation from Miniboot. Player that has to be watched out for here, Crazy Guy. On his own angle, spots too late, Rians takes him down.
One enemy remaining.
Good start from Cushy. Rians 1v1. Time on his side too. Rians with, of course, a recon, 2 shocks, and now it's the mind games. Knowing where the last position was, Cushy just wants to stay away from that Sova recon and play the element of mystery, the unknown that Cushy has to advance into. Rians 1v1, and the dance that Rians wins. Another clutch for the guy to break the dry streak and to set their momentum ablaze. And it's RRQ now through B main with the Vice Wall up. I like kind of this bait from Benchy, and it's the refract. RRQ just get dismantled by Rians, a beautiful double, and the firing squad remains for Heretics and out of distance. It is this KO trying to get away. The flash to delay needs to get out, but Cushy has made his way in, and through Market there could be a cut, but now needs to link up here with Mini-Boo.
Starting to look better for RRQ here. Upgrade for Cushy, but it's not going to be good enough. Mini
Spike down.
on board.
13 HP, not a lot for Jemkin, and he makes his job easier. And he doesn't know where Boo is, but Boo at least has health. Now just waiting to see if Jemkin is going to plant. 50 seconds left. We have time to play with.
I have the spike.
See that first fake plant. Smoke and TP up for Boo. Boo must know this is more than likely the real one, although it is refract time. This is the opportunity for Jemkin. And Boo is playing it very patiently, doesn't want to get baited, and he has timed it well. Now the refract is gone. Playmaking capability for Jemkin is low.
Yeah, you can play with these last 20 seconds. Now it's the time. Jemkin is actually just going to go for the play and not even the spike. I felt like maybe he could have planted and played time and just played like a chicken, I guess. But Heretics 4-0.
But just doesn't come on through Boo. So patient. IGL controlled and disciplined, winning the 1 versus 1, and now Heretics up 4.
Gonna be a pretty critical round for RRQ, and you're gonna have to do it without your star player of Jemkin. But maybe this was just alert. Time for plan B. And with that trip set at B main, it will be RRQ trying to go for that market control again. And look how Benchy has already swapped his Thorns to that side.
Wouldn't want to walk through top mid again. Monyet's been punished there before. Jemkin falls flat a little bit here, trying to make their way into market now.
The Thorns are going to do some damage, and RRQ start to infiltrate and back against the wall. Benchy holds on, waits for the pinch from his duelist, and cages away, but it is Heretics unleashed, and RRQ managed to teleport away just barely and through the front side. Crazy Guy makes the space, and the spike goes down.
How does Monyet get out on 1 HP? He's still going to be at the plays. One sees ahead, but will get shot just a little bit too early again. Woot popping up again. Got that early 3K first round. Wants to finish it out now.
Crazy Guy 1v2. Has to check out through market. Has the chance to maybe wrap around, but you also want eyes on the spike in case it does get diffused. Now the smoke's in place. It's halfway. It's being stuck.
Just no command away, 2 versus 1, finish it off.
Yeah, Heretics playing for the retake, and they're fine with that. They like to give up that site, and they have their lurks come in through mid, and RRQ are not going to spread themselves too thin. Now backing away, they cover their flank.
Watch the Steel Garden play coming through. Crazy Guy also prepping some util. Have to wait for the aftershock here. Good setup from RRQ regardless.
Right, Heretics going through the thorns and firing the flames and the smokes. Don't know what to expect on the other side. Crazy Guy with a shotgun. Exchanges back and forth. A paranoia that hits no one from the side of Heretics. And it's RRQ that holds both sides. And Heretics have to pick one to try and bulldoze through. The spike, it gets tapped. RRQ gonna try and deny the defuse. And it's Xpharaoh with the neural depth to make sure no one's on the defuse. And it's being held. And it gets dropped. And RRQ have done it.
No time to defuse. And RRQ have bounced back finally. What an ending coming through from an Xpharaoh. He waited super patiently.
Now, that knife from Moot does reveal some things as RRQ had to slow things down, and Jemkin suppressed but not blinded from the paranoia, so he's going to play things safer. Yeah,
suppression is very, very strong up against Jemkin. Have to consider the fact that your refractor's not going to have any value here, but B is under a lot of pressure. Benji Fishy keeping control of market that'll at least give room for his team, but sight's gone now.
Wonder when Xpharaoh's going to choose this time. He could get a big backstab onto Benji, and Heretics start to scale up through the top of the site, and Monyet is there, no paranoia, but smokes.
Top mid.
And Miniboo is at the top of the box, hoping to get an angle above this smoke, but is getting nothing. Heretics start to set up the market and back side Boba push, and it's time to activate Xpharaoh's lurk. It's coming up from behind market. It's all about timing, but the better shots from Heretics and the overdrive that kicks Heretics into a huge advantage, but the spike still needs to be defused. It is tapped, and Crazy Guy denies for now, but just the overdrive is too much, and Xpharaoh starts to creep around, and it will be still the defuse. 7-1 for Heretics.
Xpharaoh just taking too long to wrap around, not too sure which direction he needs to help the team from. Has to do the long walk all the way from top mid where he found his kill, all the way down to B main. They don't pull through something very soon, or need to start thinking about map 2 on Icebox instead.
Yeah, Jemkin has been sometimes going on solo adventures and endeavors, hoping to reward his team with the first blood, and he also has had to dial things back, is also being the first victim of RRQ, now with mid-presence. Hunter's Fury hoping to separate the flock of RRQ, and he does get Crazy Guy and more, some injuries on the side of RRQ. Looking at a lot of zero credit agents from the side of RRQ. This is such an important round to try and convert. You have a Nightfall to do so, but now you just don't have a team. A 3v4 is what RRQ would have to convert. Dead Boo is clean playing off the one-way.
Yeah, just the ability to kill the Prowler, then instantly snap on for the one. Will bring numbers down to a pretty workable 2 versus 3. Nightfall up for Cushy, but they lose Crazy Guy, and they lose the Rolling Thunder. Now Jemkin, he's up first, but doesn't have refract, so he's just gonna get cleaned up.
Could have been a big moment. We're used to seeing Jemkin with a cape on his back, and now a Steel Garden Cushy. Well, wow, just tapping Miniboo, and that's not enough to shred his plot armor. This is gonna be a very quick sunset for Heretics. Miniboo has to hold on. I'm seeing a fast push from RRQ and a death ball, and Miniboo does some good damage. The one-way has been insane, and Miniboo's just gonna stand and deliver. He really trusts in Boo, and RRQ still managed to get out with all their corpses alive somehow.
Jemkin does take a decent amount of damage, but yeah, like I said, surprising they can get out of that one. Rians, though, says absolutely not. Here comes that double. No Nightfall for you.
Xpharaoh just wasn't in a position to clear through mid, and RRQ got completely off guard with the top mid completely exposed.
And that's info as well. I do believe Knife catches one.
30 seconds left.
Now trying to get info if they can just dry swing, get eyes on the site. Seeing this Rolling Thunder is worth it, and they're just going to go for the guarantee. It does not contact on Miniboo, and the crack into the cage, and the crack in the heads of RRQ, who are just going to have to go through a deficit, turn that all around. But it's Heretics with more than enough, and Crazy Guy hoping to save the gun, because again, the economy is absolutely shattered for RRQ.
Forced to save, just doesn't even have time to walk forward, find the spike or anything.
Painful spot they've been in before, and top mid they've been punished, going through markets, been back and forth. The Thorns will still stand in their way.
That's what Jemkin can do. Nothing, unfortunately. This is the last round, by the way, and that's going to mean Converging Paths is gone, Nightfall is gone, and the entire round is gone, the entire half is gone.
That's really tough. RRQ desperate to convert and then refract out and really make Heretics wonder and have to re-clear your positions. Now Miniboo commands your attention as he does. He's been such a true star on this map, one of the best neons on Sunset that we've seen at EWC. And he's got the attention of 2 defenders while the rest go A.
He's actually got the attention of 3 crazy guys moved over as well, but now it's not better of that. Miniboo trying to make a little bit more noise. If he gets some kills here, it'd be beautiful. But he's slowed down, he's hindered, but he's still able to get the kill. Jemkin, what is going on?
Heretics on elbow at least, and will try to get the ball rolling, but there is one at the box and Cushy by his side, and it is just good protocols from Heretics. I think RRQ not able to trade themselves, especially with Crazy Guy smoked off. There is a flank from Xfero in a 1v1 against Wu. It's a good headshot. He'll head his way either to elbow on the left side. It would be a big risk. He doesn't want to get sandwiched. He has to move quickly. Such a must-win round for the pistol of RRQ. They're having to convert it at a deficit. Xfero, the longest standing member, unites with Crazy Guy caught with util in his hand. And Xfero has to do it all. I think it's a 4K coming up if he can do it. Benji, though, does have more HP. The camera to see the upcoming W or L. And Xfero with 4 saves RRQ.
They needed that so badly, and Xfero has been the one to deliver previously. In that one round they got in that first half, which seems so far away now, but in that second half, when a pistol comes on through, and the last bit of info gained from Crazy Guy, it finally comes in. Rough situation for Jemkin though. Is it though? I mean, he got the hinder onto Miniboo. Just loses to him anyway. Thankfully, Xfero though. My goodness. Nice little 4K to come on through. Didn't even need the flash assist. And just finds the timing as Benji Fishy is still looking around to see what angle Xfero is going to come from. Working our way over towards 8. On yet with the 1-way. Restack for RRQ on B, but they'll go exploring very shortly. Benji could be in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, decent swing at a Benji, but just outnumbered and outgunned. And Heretics, now that their lurk is destroyed.
30 seconds left.
Spike down and RRQ exploring around mid as a death ball.
Take this.
They're trying to take angles, and I like this proactivity from Miniboo, and it's good information, but at what cost? A lot of health now gone as Heretics create a bunker. Rian's in elbow. It's gonna be off. Oh, you got no flashes, no paranoia, nothing from Rian.
Just the TP,
just have
what?
to run and cut. What is Body thinking? And Woot shuts it all down to get closer to match point for Heretics here on Sunset. What is written, what shall be decided, unless Xfero pulls a rabbit out of his hat. Now 1v2, he made it happen on the pistol. Headshot up close against Boo. And Rian's pokes his head out through elbow, halfway diffuse, and he does not stick it. Taps it again, Rian's knows he has time! And Xfero with 4, still cannot convert the round.
He's nearly done it again. Xfero in the 1 versus 2 clutch. He actually gets both kills, but this time around, playing this one very patiently. Unlikely to be spotted out. Yeah, he'll find a time in his swing for sure, but he is being watched by Boot.
What a read from Boo! To just be posted up and always careful to what RRQ could try and throw at them, and Heretics have just absolutely hit this map out of the park. Crazy Guy, he's on the other side of this pillar because he has full util, ready to flash, fault line, aftershock, whatever it needs to try and save this for RRQ. Finds the timing, but the Heretics show face at front door, playing off the recon, spamming through the cage. Heretics have silence and a bit of peace to work with as Jemkins wants to unite with his initiators to swing out of the smoke, but Crazy Guy's been found, and where's the reaction from the rest of RRQ? Heretics just paved the way, the red carpet soaked in blood of RRQ, who have 2 left, and it's up to the Jemkin show to shine, and Xfero's got 2, 13-3 on Sunset for the Heretics.
Jemkin shut down entirely on that map. The Waylay once again not working out for RRQ, and you also have this KO as well. Suppression so strong.
It was just a lot on that breach from the RRQ side to try and get some trap going against Heretics, but like I said in the cast, it was purely counter positioning, playing completely out of the sight, so fault lines, rolling thunders, anything. Yeah, and it'll be up to this anchor of Xfero to lock things down, play around the smoke. Now that you have your jet into position, you have Crazy Guy with shock bolts, so he's going to try and pressure yellow. And now the spike's been planted, so RQ couldn't really prevent this, and now work at a disadvantage, but everyone's in position with, of course, a paranoia from Monyet, and Heretics just play hidden.
Watch for the paranoia come through Monyet. That's the go time. Fragment still available on the opposite side as well.
It's a good start from RQ. Good swings, just being out in the open, but Heretics, they match blow for blow, and it's Xfero left to pick up the pieces, and he still has a spike to defuse, and he's just not going to have time at this point, especially with everyone playing dodgeball against him, and Boo fades away with a 4K.
You better believe this IGL do be shooting today, Boo. On point, so is the rest of Heretics. Well, Spike is taking a while to make its way. So at this point, RQ have actually been able to rotate in time. They are here. Look to close the gap in terms of pistols. Xfero's done that.
It's the spam through the smoke at the top tower when the Viper wall was up. Heretics had a sense of security. And they still have a drone, shock bolt, paranoia, but RRQ, they can just hold it. Now paranoia gets thrown as soon as you hear the spike get tapped. The Molly is there. The real estate on RRQ's side, but Heretics, they're trading a lot better than the last map, and you're just going to eat that shock bolt and try to trust in your team. Mini Blue converts 3.
Wow.
The spike is down, and Heretics with the anti-eco.
Riyadh, he eats a snake bite, eats a shock duck, gets a plant down with barely any time left to go. Heretics look like they're about to drop that round. So they're reasonably well equipped to actually compete for this round. As I remind RQ, they dropped, I was going to say 5, but ended up being a lot more rounds in a row, including this number 3. Really important that RQ make a statement early on.
Knowing that the Sheriff was the one that shot it down
go.
too, so some confidence from RQ, and Monyet with important, oh, he just got distracted, hearing someone next to him, but Heretics crawl through the choke. That's the Viper wall, some protection for Cushy, and a good delay provided by Xfero as he tries to get in position here on the high ground. And Heretics have Mini Boo inserted deep at the corner, waiting for the reaction from this Viper as Cushy leads at the one angle, converts a double, and he continues to live on, but at 18 HP, a 1v2, Boo is just better.
The Boo brothers surviving until the end here for Heretics. They brought guns into this round and they deliver on those weapons.
This is a bit of deja vu from Sunset when it was a 6-0 start for Heretics. But that was, of course, on their defense and on a different map. So RQ do not want to hemorrhage this much this early. But Jemkin, if he could light up the kill feed, this will be a whole different map.
That's what we need to see out of Jemkin. Quiet so far at this EWC. What a time to come alive it would be now. Map 2. 3 down in terms of rounds for this as well. Xfero spots a lot.
The orb grab for Heretics, and you don't have a lurk that's kind of clearing through A.
I mean, once this drone sees nothing, you have to imagine rotates need to come through.
Yeah, especially with Xfero down, that'll be reinforcements being called from RRQ, so Heretics have a window to work with, but that, you know, we have the X-ray, we have the map, they don't. So Heretics would maybe want to wait for that Viper wall to have some gas to come back up, and then the plan ensues, especially with yellow position from Rians. Having the better weaponry.
Could have been a plan at the Viper's Pit as well, but they're going to believe in their better guns here. No need to expend the ultimate if you think you're going to win anyway. However, Jemkin's sharp right now. Can he be sharper?
Oh, and he kind of takes that damage, isn't ideal, but he's been the headshot king this round.
Oh my
through
God.
the smoke. Wait, check PC. What was that? Now 2v2, but Woot on his last legs. RRQ.
One enemy remaining.
Not the best weaponry, but who cares when you just got a bow and arrow? You got Katniss Everdeen and you got Jemkin the GOAT. Of yellow, when you're not playing a Jet, you're not having as much fun vertically, and it's just going to be your Omen that could make those big plays. And Jemkin got the first blood, willed that 4K in the Thrifty, and gets the ball rolling. He saw them, yeah, at least we heard it, how loud they were getting, but look at this adventure. That Mini Boo is on, and he's cut from the mid-lurk of Monyet. Now Heretics not going to feel so safe. Need to wait for that Viper wall, and it's a Hunter's Fury from the defense. Once, you know, Heretics are trying to get set up, but this Hunter's Fury doesn't seem to deter the Heretics. 3 versus 3.
It's an orange position again, but it's also going to be from the fence as well, Woot. Good for that one. Crazy guy gone. Jemkin Blaze available if this round goes a little bit wide for Cushy. Oh my goodness, just finds the timing from above, and Jemkin with the coup de grace to give RQ the 2 rounds that they needed.
Absolutely.
It's an orange area, the double pushdown from RQ that Heretics were not ready for. 2 players being caught there. And now a fast approach. Jemkin sees good information, but misses the shot. Crazy guy converts.
Heretics are confident. They heard the op. They still want to challenge it, but man, RQ stacked together. They get just dismantled by Heretics, and now this op's not going to be as well protected. Here comes the anchors and the pits from the offense. Now there's no space for Jemkin. He trades his gun, and Heretics weren't expecting him to be this close, and Xfero just has no chance.
Crazy guy and Monget just get in Jemkin's way. Brother's out here trying to snipe, and he's saying move. I can't see anything. Playing for retake on A though. Look how far back Cushy is. Crazy guy as well. A little bit off the angle. Jemkin does have a hero rifle to play through.
Gonna save that Rian's Hunter's Fury for the post plant, it seems. They're confident just using this util. Scale up 1 by 1. The turret's been taken care of, so behind Boo has a 1 versus 3, and he keeps it on lock and adjusts some damage, but not enough to take out the second. He goes 1 for 1. Next up to watch the flank is Benji. Xfero locks in, and the flank develops more, but Heretics, they march on forward and take care of the defensive RRQ.
Yeah, they just walk up and say, we'll win this side of the map. Okay, you have the flank control. Let's swap sides entirely. And it's the gun from Boo transferred to the other Viper on Xfero now. His brother Mini Boo still on site down though. Jemkin, he's really feeling it now. This guy might be able to win the round.
He's a threat. Xfero has to watch to the left and trust that Jemkin has the right, but there's a flash from Woot. Jemkin, while flashed, still gets the kill. Rians with the recon, won't be distracted. Jemkin, confident as ever.
It's time to get Ewok the coach to delete Waylay from the agent selection screen for Jemkin. Never want to see that again. The Jet is the truth for this guy. That can be safe knowing that at least Jemkin is firing up when it counts, reducing this gap down to 1 again.
Jemkin buys up to the op again. Now hopes to reorganize RRQ's A defense to not get in each other's way this time. Now checking out back Snowman. Miniboo's actually going to stick this, so this is trouble for Xfero. Who's not going to go for the early pits and just gets surprised by Miniboo. And this cracks open B.
Xfero knew as well. He had the right read, but just couldn't land the cross yet. Good crouch from Mini will be able to prevent that from happening, and now causing further issues on site itself. It's Cushy feels around, but he gets the kill to Woot through smoke. Just spams the default.
It's great ears from Cushy. Just hearing that spike, reacting accordingly. Now down below, Miniboo continues to be a menace in the shadows. From Snowman to a villain, and RRQ still have, it's not impossible, 3 versus 4, as you're up. Needs to be unobscured by any Viper wall. We'll have vision, and Heretics should just not poke this. Let the turret do all the talking. Let the Sova util do so on post plant here for Rians. It's good information. Jemkin can't make a connection and now has to escape with the op.
Hunter's Fury there as well. Just in case things go badly for Team Heretics, but really 4 alive versus 3. Turret prevents Jemkin from getting on the line. Wall comes up as soon as you get any sort of presence found by that turret. And just a little bit too difficult. Cushy tried his best, prevented the plant at least for some time.
And no early pit from Xfero to maybe kind of deny one of these sites early from Heretics. At least the smokes in place will delay things.
Still not great weaponry out of the side of RRQ. Obviously, with the operator in hand, the rest of the team is going to buy up to support it. We'd like to see Cushy land a couple of those Guardian shots, but not to be the case. At least he sees about 3 players.
Yeah, really feeling the pressure and getting a bit jittery. And despite the spams through the smoke, Heretics don't really take much damage and get the spike down, and now can just play out of sight, out of mind. It's RRQ's hand that's going to be forced, and Jemkin wants sight lines. Monyet clean shots, and you still have shock bolts from Crazy Guy to try and flush out the Heretics into the line of sight, and a Hunter's Fury from Rians to just pressure back the members of RRQ, especially if they touch the spike, and it's Jemkin versus Rians, the 2 stars at 19 HP. Jemkin needs a band-aid, and he needs more time, and the spike's about to tick down. And Rians has found a really good hiding spot, and Jemkins just can't do it. He's got to just get the op and get out.
Rians again in this late 1v1. I mean, this time just kind of plays for the time. It has enough HP, knows exactly what his job is. Last round of the half, and RQ, once again, not enough weaponry here Qeon happy to take the Spectre, knowing he'll pull the Blade Storm out once things get dirty. One away is still cushy, wanting to get that ultimate, then it's going to be 5 ults. And Xfero opens early, Mini Boo gone.
Xfero has had really big moments for RRQ. Now he's going to help Monyet just get out, just in case there's more around this B-long side. As they watch through the mid-cut, and wow, Monyet finds a second one for RRQ.
Toxins going up.
He wants to take it into his own hands and will be able to do so, at least for a little bit of time. That'll relieve the pressure now. Heretics watch over towards the A side. It'll be a late rotate for Boot. Bring the spike over. Riyadh has essentially cleared the site now. This is a retake for RQ on A.
Yeah, because you don't know the location of Boo, you're just going to have Xfero anchor B while the rest reinforce, and Heretics lurks activated. It's taking too long to get the spike over. Riyadh's taken out from rafters as Woot will fill the gap. Now has 2 doorways to watch.
He really needs to live, though. Boo can't win this if Woot goes down early here. They need to be together.
30 seconds
And RQ, they have the numbers. They're happy to allow the plant to come in through and play for full retake. Look, they got 4 ults to play through still. This is huge. They can prevent the plant, actually, with Hunter's Fury.
Oh, did just hear someone up the stairs. Good flash, and shuts down the Hunter's Fury! One celebrates a solo hold, it seems, and now the spike goes down. A lockdown.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Send the name. He'll give you something to celebrate. About 3 kills. Just beats the timing. Swings through unexpectedly. And the Hunter's Fury, like you say, has gone Xfero with it all to do now. He's got the 1. He's good for clutches before. Viper's Pit. This is going to be tough for Woot to play into. Woot only has a fragment available.
Wait. Gets on the spike. Oh, he's right behind him. He had time to do a whole dance to figure out what he wanted to finish him with.
Which does mean it's going to be a star-studded European lineup in the playoffs. KC 2-1 versus Billy. Heretics looking for the 2 and 0s. We got a little bit of gun action happening nice and early. It's Monyet and Xfero. That's a lot of Heretics players having to fall back.
Heretics going for a Hail Mary. Xfero just kicking them in the dirt. Oh my god, he hasn't lost a single duel. Just a death ball of RRQ looking for a flawless pistol. Now that brings momentum back in their side.
Yep, here it is, RQ.
Good pings, especially on Qeon. But it is a bit of a split, as now mid gets pushed as RRQ try to find their way around, but Heretics have taken care of business on the front lines. At least Crazy Guy remains with the spike, but this flank from Xfero could really be something special. He just needs to not reveal himself, take things as slow as he can, and thought he was going to come up from behind Boo, but reconsiders, finds almost good timing, but the shots are just cleaner from Riyadh.
This team is so split. I mean, Cushy's not there to support at all. He's going exploring elsewhere in the map. Meanwhile, it's Crazy Guy walking up a spike in hand, and all 3 surviving members of RQ completely lost in an island by themselves. Bit of a worst case scenario here. Now made even worse, suppressed out. Crazy Guy just needs to get a couple of kills and pray for some economy damage, really.
A fine death.
Okay. Some damage to himself too, and tries to isolate the 1v1, and wait, the headshot on the Boo. It's definitely possible. He knows where Benji is. Hopes to get time on his side. Now Woot and Benji are going to attack from all angles. No util from Woot, but Benji has a turret if he wanted to peek and check, get info without taking a risk. But Crazy Guy, just 1 shot is all it takes, and Benji will get Heretics to double digits.
No way for Crazy Guy to expect. Wanted to try and fake it, fake it in the sense that confusing Heretics, making them search around, but Woot was already in position to look around spawn. Well, it's not here. Well, couldn't he be? Well, Boo going down is going to cause some issues. This will be a plant for sure now. Finally, RQ get to play a post line. You want to see a Viper Spit, they'll get that one in play.
Happens this round. That was the plan. RQ, the ruse, is really pulled off well. But you still need to close out the round. And Heretics, they 2-2 split from Snowman through mid, just trying to puncture through this bunker into the pits. And it's exchanges. A disadvantage that Heretics have to overcome. And this pit, Xfero has to stay within it. RQ playing from main. At worst case, they could play around yellow, play around the corner, play to protect the spike, and leave Xfero out to dry if needed. Who extends outwards to poke and prod away at Heretics, forcing out the save, but I mean, it could buy up anyway, but it's over for Heretics.
Not good enough util here. A little bit shy from finding a Hunter Sphere, which would have been nice to clear out the pit. A lockdown, which would have forced Xfera off. Even a counter pit from Boot.
It's the deadly duo of the controllers on the left side, and
Take flight.
Boo and Mini Boo have had big openers here before, and just through the smoke, Jemkin didn't even have time to dash. Just the reads from Heretics are so good.
Instantly deleting the owl drone, seeing the smoke come through. 3 shots come out from Mini Boo, knowing if this is where Jemkin wants to walk forward, this is where he's going to fall. Xfera trying to use this one way a little bit to spot some feet, but I don't think he saw anything.
Hunter's Fury from the defense to try and get the cutoffs on RRQ, at least knowing that they're in B main, but not getting any tags.
Ooh, Cushy finally turns around. I was going to wonder who the first player to spot the other was going to be. And I saw him to slow things down. Cushy waiting for team, holding rafters. Now he knows that Rians is there.
Oh, lucky on that bounce. Cushy untouched. This is his moment to shine and try to throw some muscle for RRQ. And Heretics also could have a flank here from Boo. There is no turret to check it. RRQ are just surrounded here around the site, hoping for a screen push and a swing, and the paranoia kind of threw off the aim of Cushy, and Monyet's not so lucky.
Where's Xfera? He needs to activate now. He's waiting a little bit too long. 1v1 over towards the main side. Crazy Guy, super important to win that one. Now, Xfera reveals his position. He is the last one up, still has 1 piece of util. It is part of a top, and that means he's got an easy headshot onto Mini Boo, and a 1 versus 1. Now, Benji, Fishy with it all to do, limited time, and RRQ will find another round. Big clutch from Xfera again.
That was close.
Really good job to still have that Molly left at the end. I was worried about the timing. Drop.
In the early part of 8, in that lobby section, he wins his 1v1. If that doesn't happen, it might just be too many members alive for Xfera to deal with, but we've seen him so many times in these 1v2s. He just delivers, man.
Well, Jemkin does not care about being suppressed, but may need the mobility, but he's assisted and supported by this Hunter's Fury. Wow, I'm surprised he didn't get a tag, and woo! He's playing chicken over there, but RRQ now hoping to flash. No, it's actually Woot flashing on the other side of the wall, and the double swing, and it's stacked up, trading back and forth, and wait! A 3 from Rians, 2 from Fishy, and it's 12 for Heretics.
How's that lineup going? Rians with that nice collat. Heretics.
Welcome.
At least that time it was them dragging it into OT as things started to really get out of hand after a great first half start. Here for Heretics, they're in the lead. They need to close. They want to close.
Benji solo holds the left side with a Vandal, and what an opener too. Boo takes some damage, but he also knows there's some presence here in mid. Cushy could have a big moment to try and set up this lockdown, but he needs to live this round because you're on last life against Heretics.
Cushy's in an interesting position here as well because he's not going to be able to work with a team for... Okay, how about this? Benji, Fishy.
He gets 3, no Hunter's Fury, so this lockdown could be big, but Cushy, he's off on his own adventure. He's in Narnia, and the spike is lost with no support. Crazy Guy is solo and no health.
Still got a lockdown available here, but these 2 members are not playing together. If this is an opportunity for Cushy to get a solo onto Woot, would be absolutely massive. That could give them the round. Woot exposing himself, and Cushy will accelerate. Now it will be the plant 2-2.
Cushy has done everything this round. A big risk, but a big payout to get behind the defenses of Heretics that have felt very untouchable. Now it's a 2 versus 1. Crazy Guy to keep RRQ here at EWC, and it's Mini Boo that has to save it. Rians versus Crazy Guy. 30 HP versus full, and the defuse that still has to be done. Time running out, and a clutch for Crazy Guy.
30 HP, but catches Mini Boo looking the wrong direction. That could have gone so much poorer. But having the Karma collected measure to finish that one off, drawing this one down to a 3-round gap.
Oh, losing Jemkin is so painful, and didn't want to wait for the Hunter's Fury. He wanted to use it as a distraction. And now the spike heads towards B. And KJ Util tries to deter them from taking yellow. And Heretics will be cutting through mid with a paranoia that kept Heretics rooted. Spike out for RRQ and Heretics with everyone alive, and a post plant that'll cover the spike and be as far back as they can, and even a lockdown, just layering all their defenses. But look who's making its way around the perimeter. It's Benji with maybe another heroic moment, and even throwing out the knife from Woot to save it. Detained.
He's detained.
Benji acting as bait as Miniboo steps up to save him. They infiltrate the Viper's pit. Heretics in a 4 versus 3. Explore to find the Viper. And Miniboo punctures through the hearts of RRQ and will be killing their key as well. Very soon the defuse will not have time. RRQ barely remain here at EWC.
Yeah, they lost everybody. That was way too close. RRQ. This time for Heretics, they've made the wrong call. They've gambled heavily on B before, where it was correct. This time, RRQ, they're in such a great spot to get the plan going and to win the round.
Rians is guardian, or not guardian, sorry. He will be the guardian of A, though, but he is smoked off, and now it's trouble in the Heretics camp because we have to rotate over.
That's the key here. Benji Fishy, lockdown ready to go. Nothing really from RRQ to counter that one. That's their opportunity to buy themselves into this retake.
Ready for the lockdown. Now RRQ have to make a decision whether they fight or flight. And it's Jemkin that is just the bully at the front, but he's the one to put into a locker. And Heretics with a broken pie do what they can, but RRQ are firing on all cylinders. And the paranoia blinds Heretics from not being able to close this out in regulation.
Monget, he's been quiet all map and all series, in fact, and maybe not the right weapon to be playing at this particular range, but a little closer and he'll be able to do the damage.
Yeah, RRQ are not peeking them. They're just playing to spam through the smokes, and Monget has that spot downloaded. But Woot fires back. A really good response. There's still one threat that looms, and it's Cushy, and also Xfero within the smoke, and Rians is dispatched. Xfero trades 2 versus 2. And RRQ unite, and it's Jemkin that needs to come alive when it matters the most. And Xfero, the veteran, by his side, and Boo and Yellow is isolated. He won't expose himself too much until the moment is right. And it's Jemkin that can't go out quiet. Now circling around through Yellow, left to right to down, and Boo and Heretics, match point, series point.
Jemkin not in a position to trade his teammate there, Xfero.
Now they're truly on their last life. And Heretics started to put a dagger behind them, so...
Look at this fast rotate. Heretics are smelling this one. They finally broken the streak as well. They won a round after dropping 5 in a row. Here comes Paranoia.
Oh, I don't know if they make contact. And Heretics fire big round again from Boo, but better from Xfero, who has the pit, still needs to plant. Will use it to enable himself, and on the high ground, Woot tries to deter him from the objective. Still waiting for Miniboo to get into the picture. But Woot, for now, has time to play with.
He didn't plant. He had to fall off. In fact, I think Woot could have actually wallbanged that position as well. Xfero's lucky to be alive. He's going to now push this into Cushy planting instead with more HP. Xfero again in these very low number situations. Can he clutch once more?
It's duo versus duo. And Xfero low and finished and found in a 1v1. Paranoia out! And it's Cushy that stays stable, and the overtime continues. Drone gets past the wall and may have not spotted the walk-up from Heretics, so an edge and an advantage flank may be pushed here for RRQ.
They're going to play for full retake here, really hoping that RRQ were going to find some people walking up into B. Not going to be the case. Crazy guy down early. Some of your retake tools are going to be gone. That does allow Jemkin to swap his operator for a rifle, though.
Up next is Cushy. They'll get onto rafters. Right below him is that Omen. Star-studded roster of Heretics. I want to convert another attacking overtime round. Miniboo reestablishes the smoke. A good paranoia from Monget enables Cushy, but Heretics react better. It's a double for Cushy, and he could activate again, and he gets the lockdown. Overtime has been his playground. On the flank, Xfero, he needs time to develop. Cushy is down, and Xfero has to take take the helm, the tip of the spear, and he has the spike to defuse, and the defense has no time. Another attack, won by Heretics.
Xpera just too late there to save his teammate. Cushion did so much, he snuck
Switching
in.
sides.
Wu wants to take advantage of the info off the knife and will fall back. Op for Mini Boo. I don't think we've seen it really much at all. And
Huge.
who cares about the op when Benji gets the most insane double kill? Has this sealed the deal for Heretics into the top 8? Finally a defense. RQ, 3 versus 5, a turnaround. Shock bolts, paranoia from Monyet. This has to land, and there's a clump for Heretics. Deathball v Deathball. 3 versus 3 within the site. Walls down.
Good paranoia.
Monyet paranoia goes to make contact at the front. He steadies, and he gets 2 before Benji heads for the ace with Crazy Guy, who needs to settle down himself, and he'll get a second to plant, but the lockdown will send him far and away.
Does he have an angle? Benji Fishy has limited HP here. Good timing from Crazy Guy. He sees the body. Can he get the kill?
Oh, the shock bolts! Oh, it forces Benji down on the ground! And it's not Benji with the ace, but it's the final kill for Mini Boo!
They've done it. Team Heretics, through all of the struggles, 319 days. Boo says, trust us, we're working on it.